guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Natalie, and today, as you can see from the title, we are doing our January TBR prompts to say my January TBR, which is literally mind-blowing. I cannot believe that I'm filming this video right now to go into the new year. It's absolutely wild to me that it's about to be 2024 and we are filming our first TBR prompt jar video for the new year. But that's what we're doing today. As always, I have a little glass jar. This one says Hopeless Romantic. It's really cute. But I have my little glass jar filled with prompts and I have my TBR cart here. I have a lot of new books this month because it was just Christmas and I was gifted a lot of books, which I'm so thankful for. But I do have a lot of new ones. There are a few old ones that have carried over that I still haven't read yet, but there are a lot of new ones, so I'm very excited about that. But without further ado, let's get into the prompts. I'm really feeling ambitious for the new year. I think we're gonna do 10 prompts because I really want to bang out like books this year. My goal last year for how many books to read was 50. This has been my second full year reading consistently, which is so crazy. So I set my goal at 50. I think I'm at like 85 right now. So I blew that goal out of the water, which I'm so happy and proud about. This goal for the coming new year is gonna be 100 books, which if I told myself this like 5 years ago that I would be reading 100 books now in 2024, I would think I was insane, but that's where we're at right now. My goal is 100. All that to say, I'm going to do 10 prompts, so hopefully we can start out January with a strong amount of books for my 100 goal. First prompt of the new year. The first one is a book set in a small town. Some of these, I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know if they're set in small towns, so we'll have to see. This one, I don't know if it's set in a small town or not. No. Wealthy neighborhood in Beverly Hills. Definitely not a small town. This is like the only book I have I know for a fact is set in a small town, and that's Hopeless by Elsie Silver. I've had this book on my TBR for like a couple months, I want to say, and I haven't read it yet just because I've had other books that I've prioritized in front of it. But this is the last book in the Chestnut Spring series and I have yet to read it, and I love this series so much, so I definitely need to read this one. This story is about Beau and Bailey. If you've never read the Chestnut Spring series, it's like based in a small town in Canada. It's kind of like a cowboy small town romance. This is definitely our small town book for our January TBR, and I really need to knock Hopeless out and complete the Chestnut Spring series, so that's definitely a goal of mine. So book 1 of January is Hopeless. Prompt number 2. I have a lot of prompts in here right now, so it's hard to grab. This one says a book with an aesthetically pleasing cover. Always love this one so much. I feel like a lot of the books on here have aesthetically pleasing covers, so it's kind of going to be my choice. I think I already know which one I'm going to go for. I was just gifted Never by Jessa Hastings this month by my girlfriend. I think that this cover is so stunning. It's obviously very aesthetically pleasing, and I've been wanting to read it. I know there are mixed reviews on this book, but I just want to read it for myself and give it a go and see what my opinion on it is. Also, look at the inside. It's so beautiful, so I feel like for aesthetically pleasing cover, this is going to be my choice. If you guys don't know what Never is about, basically it's about Daphne, and she is the great-granddaughter or granddaughter. She's the granddaughter of Wendy. Peter is basically supposed to come get Daphne when she's 13, but doesn't come until years later when she's 17. Takes her to Neverland, but when she's there, she kind of ends up seeing Peter's true colors, and she ends up falling for his arch nemesis. So we'll see what my thoughts are on this. Obviously the cover is stunning. I've really been wanting to read this, so I'm excited that it's on my January TBR. Book number 3 of January. Okay, I have 2. There we go. That's an old one. That says a Christmas book. Definitely not doing that. Let's see. Author's last name starts with the same letter as my last name. I need to take this one out, guys. It never happens for me. That is a no as always. Lucky number 3. A one-word title. So we have a few options here. We have Powerless, Heartstopper again, which I just got this month. Is that it? Yeah. I'm gonna pick Powerless just because Heartstopper, like, it is a book, but it's a very quick, like, comic book series. So it's kind of like an extra book. I feel like I'll just, like, add it in this next month. It is a book, but it's just a very quick read. So I'm going to choose Powerless for this. Obviously, this has been such a big hype this year. Gotten so many great reviews, and I have really been wanting to read it because everyone talks so highly of it, and I'm so excited to get into it. The story's about these two groups the elites and the ordinaries. Hayden or Patton, I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, so if you guys know, let me know. They are an ordinary posing as an elite. She ends up saving one of Ilya's, their princes. She's thrown into the purging trials, which is a brutal competition showcasing the elite's powers. She gets thrown into these purging trials, and she also has feelings for this prince, but she's an ordinary, so we'll see what kind of happens with that. Powerless is our third book of January. Number 4, a book that ends in an odd number of pages. So again, I kind of have to do some digging here. If I'm being honest, the 2 books I really want to read in January are Once Upon a Broken Heart, because I still have yet to read it, and The Other Mothers, which is a thriller, and I've kind of been in a thriller mood. So I'm gonna check the pages and see if either of these have an odd number. This one is 370, so that one's out for now. Let's check Once Upon a Broken Heart. This is 403, so this is our odd number book. I've heard such amazing things about this series, and especially about the first book, so I'm excited to read this. This was on my TBR last month and I did not get to it. I'm sure you guys have seen or heard about this book. It's very, very popular, and I know a lot of people loved it this year, so I definitely need to read this, so I'm glad it's on my TBR. Book number 5 of the new year is a queer book. I think the only queer book I have on my TBR right now is Heartstopper, so I guess we are gonna throw this in there. If you've never read Heartstopper, it's kind of like a comic series, so you can kind of see in here it's a bunch of pictures, and then obviously it has the story within the graphics and comic. I am so obsessed with this series. I think it's the most incredible YA queer series. It also is a Netflix series. I read the books and then watched the series. Most of the characters I pictured exactly how they are in the series, so I was very happy about that. It follows the books almost perfectly, so I absolutely loved that, but Dick and Charlie have my heart and I love them so much, so if you've never read the series, I totally recommend it. This will be our queer book of January. Number 6, a book that's over 500 pages. I'm gonna look at things I wanted to say. If I'm not wrong about this, I think A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime is the second book, and this is the first book. I've had A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime sitting on my bookshelf for a long time now. Someone told me it was the second book, so I haven't read it because I didn't have the first book forever, and I just recently picked up Things I Wanted to Say. So I'm hoping this is the first book. If you guys know this series, please let me know and correct me if I'm wrong. This book is exactly 500 pages without the exclusive bonus content, so I'm going to count it. I honestly did not know what this series was about. I've seen a few people like post about it. It's called the Lancaster Prep series, but it says, "Welcome to Lancaster Prep with this dark and twisted bully romance." I honestly didn't think it was about that, but we're just gonna go with it. The story is about Whit Lancaster. He's apparently like cold and heartless, but devastatingly gorgeous. It says, "When he comes to my rescue one night, he ends up broken, bleeding. My instincts scream to leave and let him suffer, but I can't. I sneak him into my room, clean him up, fall for his lies, let him possess every single part of me until I'm the one left, a gasping, broken mess. Then he leaves me alone in the dead of the night, taking my journal with him. Now he knows all my secrets, my hate, my truth, and he promises to use my words against me. I'll be ruined if my darkest secret gets out. That's when I strike a bargain with the devil." I don't know too much about what this is going to be about, so we'll have to read more into it, but I've been wanting to pick this series up because I've seen it quite a few places, so that's what we're going to do. If you guys have read this series, let me know your thoughts. I think we're going to add this one for a 500-page book. Our 6th book of the month is going to be Things I Wanted to Say. Number 7 is a book you've had for a long time. A lot of these books on here are new. Almost all these books are extremely new within like the past month. I think the only one I've had for like longer than 2 months probably is Daisy Hates. This has been on my past TBRs and I still have yet to read it. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't picked it up yet because I obviously read the first book, Magnolia Parks, and I liked it, but I just like didn't like it as much as I thought I would, since a lot of people loved Magnolia Parks. I've heard people say just to keep going and it gets better, so I'm hoping with Daisy Hates I will enjoy it a little bit more. It wasn't a bad story, it just again was like toxic, but that's the same with the Addicted series, and I ended up loving that after I got past the first book, so I think I just need to go for it and read the second book. I know how many people like it, so I feel like I just need to give it a second chance and keep going on with the series, so that's what we're gonna do. We're going to add Daisy Hates to the TBR in January, and let's hope we get to it. Number 8 of January. A book you got recently. Okay, so as I was just saying, I literally got all these books within the past month, maybe month or month and a half. All these books are very new. I'm going to grab this one because, again, like I said, I was in a thriller mood and we don't have any thrillers in here, so I need to add a thriller to the list. If you know, you know. This is The Other Mothers by Catherine Faulkner. It's a new release within like the past month. I think it was released in November or beginning of December. I'm not completely sure, but I just know it's a new release. This story is about Tosh. She's a new mom in London. She's a freelance journalist. This nanny in their neighborhood is found dead one day, and she thinks that this would be like the perfect opportunity to launch her journalism career. It's kind of crazy, but she thinks it'd be a great opportunity. But she's also looking to make new friends, kind of find people that are new moms and can relate to her. So she goes to her son's playground, ends up meeting all these London moms who are the in crowd, and she obviously wants to be friends with them, kind of gets swept up in their whole facade. But when another young woman is found dead in their neighborhood, she finds out that there's more to the story than these women are giving off. I think this sounds so interesting. I haven't really heard much about it. I've kind of been trying to avoid any reviews because I am really excited to read this and I don't want it to be spoiled. We're adding The Other Mothers to our January TBR, and I think I'll be picking this one up very, very soon. Number 9 of January, we have 2 left. Highest rated on your TBR. We're gonna have to go on Goodreads and kind of see what the highest rated book is. I know Divine Rivals is rated very high, I'm pretty sure. It's a 4.26, so that's very high. We have The Nightingale. Oh, The Nightingale's a 4.61. I think that's gonna be very, very hard to beat. Oh, Throne of Glass. That one could really give it a run for its money. Let's see. It's a 4.19. So you know what? I think our highest rated one is gonna be The Nightingale. This is another one that was gifted to me by my girlfriend from Christmas. This is a different type of read than what I usually read. It's a historical fiction book, I believe. The Nightingale is based around World War II times. It's about 2 sisters who embark on their own dangerous path towards survival, love, and freedom in German-occupied, war-torn France. I talked about this one in my haul, but I think it's gonna be very sad, but a very incredible story. I've had so many people recommend this to me. If I'm out and about and am just asking a random person what book they would recommend, it's always this one. I just know it's gonna be good. Obviously has a 4.61 on Goodreads. That tells you something right there. But I'm excited to add this to the TBR. This is gonna be our 9th book, is The Nightingale. And our last book on our January TBR this month, a book your girlfriend picks. I think I get this one literally every single month. It just jumps out at me every time. I don't know why. I'm going to, again, FaceTime her. She's downstairs and we're gonna see what she chooses. Can you please pick my book?
Do Throne of Glass.
Oh, Throne of Glass. Okay. A turn of events. She chose Throne of Glass, which I'm a little bit surprised about. But anyway, she chose Throne of Glass. I read Assassin's Blade this past month, as so many people told me to read first, so I did read that one first, and I loved it. I ate it up, and I'm so excited to move on to Throne of Glass. I really want to complete the whole Throne of Glass series this year. I'm so excited. If you guys haven't read Throne of Glass, I'm sure you've heard all about it. It's a very highly rated series, even more than ACOTAR maybe. A lot of people are just more like die hard, I feel like, for Throne of Glass, so I'm excited to get further into the world and just learn more and more about the characters and their stories and everything. So Throne of Glass is going to be our 10th and final book of January. So as we have an empty TBR cart here, we have 10 books for this month. Really great variety of like fantasy, romance, we have queer books, thriller, historical fiction. This is like my most diverse TBR like maybe ever. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what's on your TBR for the coming new year. There's so many new releases coming out soon and I'm so excited for a lot of them. I cannot wait. I'm just excited to go into 2024 with a fresh start on books, a new goal. So hopefully we can complete 100 books coming into 2024, which is absolutely insane to me, but I know we can do it, and I'm so excited to continue on into the new year with all of you. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I'll see you in the next one.